What's going on, guys? Welcome to Everything Always. My name's Michael Roman, aka Allfires. Now, a ton of Spider-Man Brand New Day set footage continues to pour out as they're still filming outside, and industry insiders are weighing in with a ton of rumors now about certain details for the plot. We've got so many videos coming this week, but we have to stop for a minute and focus on what's been officially posted, both by the actor Michael Mando in regards to what's going on with his character Mac Gargan, and by one of the people working conceptually on the film with the covers that are in Destin Daniel Cretton's office. It seems like one character in particular that nobody is focusing on was just officially confirmed, none other than the symbiote Venom. We're going to break it all down, what they exactly posted, why it's a very reasonable guess that this is what's coming, and what proof we have now that the Venom symbiote is not an afterthought from a lost post-credit scene, and even though Tom Hardy may be done with the role, the symbiote in the MCU may just be getting started. But first, I want to tell you about Fume. Now guys, the quality of our life is really made up of our daily habits, and I hope that a lot of you, like me, have fallen into daily routines and daily habits that are healthy. But if you haven't, and maybe there's some bad habits that you're looking to replace with better habits, or even say a good habit, then I want to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Fume. Now listen, if you're not familiar with Fume, there is no smoke, no vapor, no nicotine, no battery. It's just naturally flavored air that gives you something to reach for without having to go to chemicals. Because sometimes breaking a habit isn't just about willpower, it's about having something better to reach for instead and replacing that habit with a better habit, and that's the opportunity that Fume gives you. And honestly, there's one other feature about Fume that I cannot overstate, and that's its fidgetability. Look, you know, sometimes when you're trying to quit a bad habit, it can make you a little more anxious than normal. And the fact that this thing clips together and that you can spin it, well, I find myself just sitting here doing videos doing just that. So on top of Fume being something to help you replace a bad habit, it's also got something to help you fidget and take your mind off of it while you're doing it. And if you're used to vapor, Fume might not be as strong as you'd expect at first, but listen, it won't leave you in a hospital bed. Fume can be compared to herbal tea if vapor was compared to a sticky soda. Not as sweet, but a lot more natural. And while Fume is already backed by doctors in the US, they are constantly investing in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products. So go to tryfume.com/everythingalways or scan the QR code and use code everythingalways to get your free Fume topper when you order your journey pack today. Again, head to tryfume.com/everythingalways or use the QR code and code everythingalways and start forming better habits today. Okay, so again, to be clear, today's news is not coming from an industry insider or Twitter skipster or even a rumor posted to social media or Reddit. This is coming from those officially involved in the film and what they've already revealed about what's to come in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, if you rewind the clock to 2 weeks ago, Kevin Feige mentioned that the director, Destin Daniel Cretton, had a bunch of Spider-Man comics on his wall and that he was bringing those Spider-Man comics to life. Well, one of the assistants for Destin Daniel Cretton posted this picture here, which actually gave us a glimpse at two of the covers that Destin Daniel Cretton is, quote, bringing to life in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, the bottom one is Amazing Spider-Man 134, which features Tarantula on the cover and the story, but that was already confirmed by a merchandising conference earlier this year. Marvel, Disney, and Sony unveiled some merch for Spider-Man Brand New Day, confirmed the Tarantula and Scorpion to be returning. But it's this next issue, Amazing Spider-Man 345, that everybody noticed it's more than just Boomerang, another villain that had been rumored to be a part of the film by industry insider Daniel RPK, that's on this cover. It's actually Venom at the very top with the subtitle, Venom Lives. He's actually saying, "Miss me?" And in that storyline, specifically in this comic, there is some foreshadowing and subtle saying, hey, not only is the Venom symbiote back, but Peter's going to potentially bond with him here in the near future. And remember, even though they have not addressed it like a lot of other post-credit scenes in the Multiverse saga, at least for now, the canon is that there is a little piece of the Tom Hardy symbiote still left somewhere in the 616 timeline. Now, this goes one step further, because Michael Mando, the guy returning as Mac Gargan to play Scorpion, who's been teasing that he's going to be dressed up in a comic-accurate Scorpion costume, also posted a picture to his social media that showed Mac Gargan as Scorpion, but Mac Gargan also as Venom. And if you're scratching your head saying, wait, Eddie Brock is Venom, the symbiote has actually had a lot of hosts in the comics, and one of them was Mac Gargan. There clearly is both representations of the character in the photo that Michael Mando himself posted, and if this storyline is tying the symbiote to Peter Parker in any way, then the setup might be just more than a subtle foreshadowing, and during this film, all these hints may say that we're going to see Peter bond with the symbiote, and by the end of the movie, which would perfectly coincide with the 1980s run of Secret Wars, where after an initial comic book cover appearance from someone who actually entered a contest to redesign Spider-Man's costume, it appeared on a cover and then was explained during the Secret Wars run, and it's actually during that run that one specific Reed Richards realizes that the symbiote is using Spider-Man and actually blasts it off of him. And remember, the Russos said, yeah, they're going to draw from the 2015 Jonathan Hickman run, but they grew up on the 1980s crossover, and so I think a lot of the imagery and stuff that they remember from that story, where it can be worked in, is of course in the works right now as we're seeing the MCU landscape evolve, and with Spider-Man Brand New Day, since they laid the groundwork for the symbiote to be here, we're about to be going into Secret Wars where Spider-Man first had the symbiote in the first place. The timing is perfect for symbiote Spidey. And I know, go ahead and post all the Bully Maguire memes you want because that's obviously where this is headed. But it's at least worth mentioning that this completely dovetails with what industry insiders have been saying about Matt Gorgon's role in the story, that he plays a central part of the plot, but he is not the main villain. Pretty obvious at this point that the main villain is going to be Mr. Negative. We still don't know who's playing that character, or if he's been cast. I would assume he has. I'm sure we will be finding out shortly, especially with everything that's been coming out day after day. But in the meantime, having Matt Gargan host the symbiote for a short amount of time before he possibly passes it to Peter Parker and during the film would make that part of his story a lot more compelling, give his character a lot more agency, again, after being sidelined for I don't know how long now since Spider-Man Far From Home. But hey, that's the nature of the MCU. You make it into one film, you never know when you're going to show up again, just like now getting back Michael Mando's Scorpion, and of course, revisiting that post-credit scene we thought at this point was completely erased, where Tom Hardy left a piece of his symbiote in the 616. But you guys let me know all your thoughts down below. I know it seems very crowded already with Spider-Man Brand New Day. There are so many villains already confirmed for this film, and now we're adding the Venom symbiote on top of it. But explained this way, it makes a lot of sense. Are you guys for it? How hype are you for Spider-Man Brand New Day? We will do our best now to catch up with all of the rumors and theories that have been flying around, because there are a ton of them. Speaking of which, hit that sub button, leave a comment down below. That automatically enters you for the giveaways. Make sure to hit the notification bell with all notifications turned on to keep up with the videos. We have so much content coming out in the next couple of weeks. Also, if you like today's video, I'd sincerely appreciate if you hit the like button. My name's Michael Roman. Find me in a couple of places, Instagram and Twitter at IamFires. You can also find me on all platforms with original music under the name AllFires. I also want to give another shout out to Fume. Thank you so much for sponsoring this video, guys. And if you're really trying to form some better habits, make sure to check them out with the link down in the description or use the QR code. Thanks for checking out this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.